All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to round 3 of the Bronze through Diamond random only tournament, sponsored by Playham and hosted by your one and only MaximusBlack. Let me introduce those players here on Cloud Kingdom. Starting up here in the top position, we have Konosuro. Konosuro. I'm going to call him Kono. And starting down here, we have Demise. Demise is a platinum player. And Kono is a diamond player. Sorry, I'm actually going to see what races they play. So Kono is a Protoss player, and Demise is a Zerg player. So both players not getting their preferred races. And I just want to also give a big shout out to the live stream. 1,500 of yous out there right now. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are the best. And hopefully this is going to be a weekly thing for all leagues, whether you're bronze all the way through Grandmasters, and whether you're on the EU server or North American server. If you guys are not already part of Playham, you guys can go there and sign up. It's super easy, it's super free, and it's super awesome. Oh, I see a sad face. Looks like he might not like TVP very much. So both players just doing regular, typical opening things. I mean, there's really not a whole lot for me to talk about in these beginning stages of the game unless somebody is going to cheese. I'm actually surprised there hasn't been a cheeser yet. I don't know about in the other games, but I was sort of thinking, you know, doing this tournament that if players, for one, being lower league, and then for two, not getting their preferred race, they would probably try and cheese their way to victory. But so far, players kind of having a decent understanding of most races and playing fairly standard. I mean, I haven't seen anything too crazy yet from any of the games we've casted, but we've only been in a few so far, so maybe we'll see some later on. And this is still like a one round elimination, so if you lose a game, you're out. So a lot of players may not want to take that chance, and when we get into the best 2 out of 3s and the best of 5, we may see a little bit more risk happening for these players. Another great thing about this is there's a $100 prize pool on the line, and usually don't see such a big prize pool for lower leagues. And obviously, some things happen when you put money up against players for lower leagues. You know, you kind of have people that try and take advantage of the situation. But as long as everything keeps going the way it is, I definitely look forward to giving the lower players an opportunity to win some money and have some fun. That's what it's all about. Actually, a quick command center going down here for Kono. That's interesting. So he's going to go for a fast expand, 1 racks into expand, and we got a stalker on the way for Demise, and also we got a robo as well. So we're going to see a 1 gate, 1 robo, and this could end up being a 3 gate robo build. Although he still is only on 1. Just as I was saying that. Chucks down that second assimilator, so we very well could see a 3 gate robo coming out the gate for Demise. And if he does like a warp prism drop, I like to do warp prism drops quite a bit. 3 more racks being thrown down here for Kono. 3 gate robo is really effective if you can get the timings down right against the Terran player that is doing a fast expand. Now, if you try and break this bunker, it can work depending on how many bunkers they have, obviously. And if the expand is already downed and how many SCVs are already saturating that command center. Because if there's a lot of SCVs and they can get a full surround on the bunker, assuming that you don't use force fields, you can be in a lot of trouble unless you have 1 or 2 immortals. We do have an observer out on the way, which is pretty good, getting out that observer as soon as possible to actually see what his opponent is doing. There is a proxy pylon down there, but let me get back to the 3 gate robo in itself. If you can do a warp prism drop and drop up here and then use that obviously to warp in units as well, you can do some serious damage, because a lot of the time is Terran players, when they're expanding, they put everything at their wall. They're scared shitless because they know that they're expanding. They know that they're if they're scouting and they see the 3 gate robo, they know that there's aggression happening. They know that their opponent isn't expanding themselves, which means that's going to be more money for units, and they're going to have to defend with everything. So if you do a drop up here, you can really deal damage because they're just out of position. And you can even go as far as doing a two-prong attack using this proxy pylon to then do a warp-in cycle to hit the command center while he's panicking and running back up to his base. It's sort of the same thing that a Terran does when they do a multi-prong attack with Medivacs and their Bioball army. And that one SCV does go down. We do have a full wall off, and ladies and gentlemen, please do not do this type of wall off, because if you put all of your supply depots out in the front, you can use the Stalkers to sit back and bait the units out. It's saying, hey, yo, okay, sit there with all your SCVs and not mine. Try to repair a bunker that I'm not attacking. I'm going to kill, I'm going to kill all of your supply depots and get you supply blocked and force your Marines to come out of position, and then I'm going to kill them. So that is a definite no-no. And now he's just getting a huge unit composition. He's got that one Immortal there, which really isn't going to do a whole lot of damage except for either tank a little bit for the Marines and or kill that bunker and these structures very quickly. But the main thing is he needs to keep warping in Stalkers and keep kiting. And he's losing so much mining time right now. He's only lost one SCV, which is really, really good, but he's just losing a shit ton of mining time. And this is just really not looking good. He needs to start microing back some of these Stalkers. He's taking way too much damage. These SCVs in the front chasing that one Immortal. Ooh, that was a free Sentry snipe. And could get a free Immortal kill here. Needs to start focus firing on this Immortal. And Kono actually doing a relatively good job at defending, considering the situation that he put himself in. This one Immortal getting awfully risky. Going to be able to take out one of these supply depots. Still chasing down units. And this one Immortal is going to go down. And he could also turn around and focus fire on that second Immortal and kill that very quickly. And I think at this point, Demise is maybe overcommitting just a little bit. There's a couple of Marauders out on the field. It's going to be extremely close. Is he going to be able to take down this bunker again? And it's looking very close for another supply block. Really needs to focus fire on this Immortal. If he does not kill that Immortal, it's it's dealing damage, you know, just destroying these Marauders and doing a decent job at defending that off. And well, Demise going to expand in behind. The question is he probing behind it? And yes, he was. Just a little bit. 27 probes to 18 SCVs. Lost 15 workers there. Wow. You know what? Kono did a good job. He held it off to the best of his ability. He kind of put himself in a really sour situation with those supply depots in the front. I mean, he's going to have to replace those now, which is costing him, you know, a lot of minerals that he doesn't have. Yeah, it was okay. But it's sort of what happened in the last game that I casted. Protoss doing a great job of applying pressure, dealing a lot of damage, killing a lot of SCVs. But at the same time, really not teching or doing anything major behind it. Built that Nexus as he was failing towards the end. And I really don't want to call it a fail, but as he was backing off, then he was building his Nexus. It would have been nice for him to build the Nexus while attacking and then not overcommitting and keeping those units, most of those units alive and backing off. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't the highest of play. This is Platinum versus Diamond, and both players not playing the preferred races. So I will say I'm quite surprised with how Demise is playing, and I'm also quite surprised on how well Kono defended that, even though he took quite a bit of damage in doing so. Missile turret going up, not taking any chances, does not want any DTs or observers seeing anything major. Up top here in the base, we got a starport going now. Getting that reactor, probably going to switch up the tech to the starport to get out those medevacs. And this is the situation where Terrans can become a pain in the ass. Where you think, you know, you've done a lot of damage, you were aggressive, you did all the right steps, but you really didn't do a whole lot behind it. And now that there's two orbital commands, mules out on the field, that Marine Marauder Ball and the medevacs happening, and you're not too far in the tech tree yourself, you can get gunned down pretty quickly. And I almost fear the worst for Demise unless he does a huge tech switch, unless he starts getting giraffes, or he gets charge lots, or goes into Archon. Because I really don't think, and here we go, he's going to try and press again. Some decent force fields there are going to get some free Marine kills, but doing a sexy stim to get out of the way, only losing, what, maybe one Marine there? That was pretty clutch. Very nicely done. 1 Marine for 2 force fields. I think that's a pretty fair trade at this point, considering he wants to be the aggressor. He's not going to have enough energy to do a Guardian Shield, and if he does, he's not going to have enough energy to do any key force fields. He's now working his way up. The Medivacs, where are they at? They are on the way. And once they come out, we could see a bit of trouble. Demise could be seeing his own demise here very shortly if he keeps pushing like the way he is. Kono now getting out of his bunkers and getting ready to be in position. This is quite a scary Marine Marauder ball. I think he's waiting for +1 before he pushes out. There's the Robo Bay. So we could see some giraffes here for Demise unless he gets killed beforehand. He is out of position. These Immortals are very slow. Kono working his way back. Really, and he's expanding behind it. I don't know about this, guys. I really don't know about this. He's expanding behind an army that is coming towards him. After seeing this massive ball of Marine and Marauders and a couple of Medivacs, I would highly consider canceling this Nexus and just building units. And if not, at least getting himself in a situation where he can see if the army is working their way over or not. This pylon is not giving that information. So at this point, as a Protoss player, or just as a StarCraft player in general, I would only assume that the Terran is going to be pushing any second. It's very risky to try and grab that third. But hey, you know what? A high risk could be high reward if the Terran does not decide to go out and attack before these giraffes come out. And Demise doing the smart thing, actually going to go ahead and get that giraffe before the Thermal Lance. Something I talked about earlier. So he's going to have that giraffe out on the field, which is nice. And he's starting to get a decent unit composition himself, so maybe getting that third at this point might be okay, but it's going to be still extremely close. He does not want to get caught off position. This is not good. The Terran sees it. Is he going to stim into this? He's going to get some free Stalker kills there. 4 Stalkers falling very, very quickly, finding himself out of position. Transferring over some probes here. These probes are going to die. Oh no, this is horrible news for Demise. Running all these probes into their death. Needs to get these probes out of here ASAP. If he loses those, that is going to be huge, considering the Nexus is going to fall, though. Nexus is a little bit more important than those probes. Does manage to stim his way out of there. Nice pick off there from Kono. So once again, that Nexus really didn't do a whole lot for him. +2 on the way for Kono. Or for Demise, sorry. And this is a decent unit composition. I truly believe that if you're going to go up against Marine Marauder Brawl, you really shouldn't push out until you at least have, I would say at least 2 giraffes, but to be even on the safer side, grabbing 3 of them. The Vikings are now starting to come out on the field, so that 1 giraffe probably not going to do a whole lot. And I mean, Marauders just destroy giraffes, you know, just stim right into them. We got the Flying Shark there doing his thing. And we do have a major supply block happening basically for both players at this point. Still going to try and get up that third. I do like the fact that he's getting the third now. I like that. +2 about to finish, and a War Prism on the way now for Demise. 52 probes to 39 SCVs, 2 mules on the field. And is he going to get caught out of position? Is again, these Zealots are not in the front. That 1 Immortal getting tickled just a little bit. The Vikings are working their way around, trying to wait for that perfect opportunity. These Vikings, like the shark that they're around, circling their prey, waiting for an opportunity to strike. And here comes the Marine Marauder Ball. This is all going to boil down to Force Fields, Guardian Shield, and placement. The Vikings are out of position. Needs to get those in position. And oh no, half of the army of Kono out of position. That is not good for him. Needs to chuck up a Guardian Shield with these sentries. What are you doing? Where's the Guardian Shield? All of these units are getting just mowed down. This is going to be an extremely close battle, but these Marine and Marauders are being healed by these Medivacs. The Vikings doing damage, and not a single Force Field or Guardian Shield going down from any of those sentries. Oh dear, that was horrible engagement for Demise. It started off very, very nice. All the right things were happening for him. The Vikings were out of position. Half of the units were out of position. but not a single force field or guardian shield. Ooh, that was a lot of gas wasted. And I think at this point, Kono should definitely be searching around for thirds. Should be getting rid of a third. I mean, he's in a perfect position where I don't think he could... Well, actually, you know what? He might be able to end this game right now. But sort of like in the last game when Terran decided to go after the expands after a great engagement and after a big victory on the battlefield, getting rid of those expansions and taking the 1 or 2 base up on your opponent. 1-1 for upgrades and a 1-1-2 for Demise. So Demise is actually doing a good job at upgrading. Does not want to catch himself off position again. Where are you going with these units? Really needs to get some observers out on the field. Running around aimlessly with the very small amount of units that you have. Very risky. These Vikings looking to pick off this giraffe before possibly his army goes in and tries to engage. Let's go back here to the production tab. We do have charge on the way. And the Vikings doing a very sexy pickoff. And finds the third, and this is going to get melted. +3 on the way, +3 weapons for Demise. If he's low on units, he's going to try to at least get the upgrade advantage, which is always smart to do. But at this point, I mean, he's in some serious trouble. His main is completely mined out. He's on 1 base. 800 minerals a minute to 1,400 minerals a minute. It's quite the difference. I would even like to see Kono go as far as expanding again behind this. And this could be the last engagement, folks. Once again, just running units into death. Some decent force fields trying to delay the inevitable. Trying to get up another third. I mean, I commend him for putting in the effort. But I don't think that's going to stay alive very long. More Vikings just kind of doing nothing over that way, sitting at the base. Maybe over there to make sure that no warp prism drops happen or anything like that. Some more balls of units. 176 supply to 89, folks. This is just bad. Terran really just commanding this entire game. And it all started at the beginning again, you know. Protoss dealing damage, but not doing anything behind that damage. And Terran's so easy to take an econ lead. It's so easy for them to do so with 2 orbital commands when you're on 1 base. Kono not overextending. This is starting to look like a bit of a scary army for Demise, especially with those upgrades. Some nice force fields happening, cutting off half of the army. But some of these force fields running out. And here comes the... I was going to say something offensive, but here comes the herding train. The grape train. Here comes the grape train. Forced to take off all the probes on the line, and this is pure desperation. 1 stim. 50 probes killed, and we are going to see a GG well played for Demise, and that was a decent game. Kono continues on.